folks, welcome to 10 Bears Retro. Little road trip for me this morning. It's a rainy Sunday morning in Pembrokeshire. I was just about to get out of bed and start doing things in my back office there, and I had a notification to say that I had a parcel from Vinted dropped off at my local impost, which is Tesco, which is probably about 10 miles from where I live. So I thought before I start getting busy in the back room there, I'd just pop out and grab that parcel, because I've got a bit of an unboxing to do today, a bit of my January haul, if you like. Various parcels I've had come through, and I've sort of kept them to one side because I've not really had time to do much. But I'm hoping today I can just sit down for 10-15 minutes, do a bit of a video in there, my little man cave, show you the bits and pieces that I've bought. Hoping to do a few bits in that room today as well, because it's absolute chaos in that room. I've got stuff all over the place. There's not enough room to swing a cat, and I've got two of them. So now that I got my Amiga back up and running, that's taking up its own little bit of personal space as well. And I've got my own Plex server that's taking up room that doesn't necessarily need to be. And if I can relocate that somewhere in the room there, then where it can be plugged into a different socket, because I seem to have everything just plugged into extension leads that are plugged into two sockets in one wall, and a spare set of sockets over the other side, but furniture and things there. But yeah, so we'll see how that gets on. Got a couple of shelves as well to put up. The wife got me a couple of these sort of like C-shaped shelves. So basically when the shelf goes on, you've got the either side that stands up as well. Not quite sure what I'm going to use them for yet. Maybe putting some of my computer games on, you know, PlayStation 3, maybe PlayStation 4 and Xbox games, or maybe just ornaments, free up some shelving space. We'll see where that goes. I think I'm going to use one for the Plex server, which is an 8TB external hard drive along with a Raspberry Pi. So yeah, so a little bit of an introduction to today's video, folks. Me on a road trip, so I'll catch you back at the house. Right guys, back from Tesco, back to the house now. So just wanted to show you quickly this room that I'm working with. So yeah, so coming in through the door, starting this corner, we have got various games that I've picked up over the last several weeks. I think most of those I've actually already done videos on. After that we got my Amiga 1200 black case. Still got the original keys, hoping to get those keys upgraded and put black ones in, just so I have a completely black Amiga there. And this is the monitor that I often use when I'm actually using the Amiga then as well. Got the GT500s there, big fan of the GT500s, and that box stores all sorts of things like controllers and various wires and things like that. This is my unboxing lot that I'll be doing shortly. Top one, which is where I had to go to Tesco for. My monitor here with BT that watches me whenever I'm filming. It's actually an old TV, an old Sharp TV. And this monitor here was a Christmas present from the wife. 3.5-inch screen. You can plug the HDMI into there, or you can put SD cards or flash cards and flash drives and things in there and run things from that. Underneath it is sitting an OSSC scan converter, which I'm currently using for getting the output signal from my Amiga into my capture card. Up in the top corner here, got a birthday present from the wife last year, I think it was. Again, I did a little video on that. It was from my sister's shop that's now sadly closed down. Trade just isn't what it used to be. So many people shopping online, myself included, and unfortunately they've had to shut the store there now, and that's gone. Little birthday card I kept. Down here, this is the main setup for my recording. So on the left we've actually got this I use for my PlayStation 2. Basically it just sends out a better signal that I can put into my capture card, then makes things a lot more crisp and clean. In the centre then I got my HDMI switcher. And then at the bottom there is my capture card, and on top is again just something else for taking inputs, SCART, RCA and HDMI in. Comes HDMI at the back then again into that. In the corner here we have Spike, and he's guarding my my joypad for my PlayStation 2, of which that is hiding behind. That is the fat model. It's got MC boot on there, so all my games are actually on the hard drive. And down here, this is a Raspberry Pi that I use for my Plex server. And the hard drive for that then is there. I think that's a Seagate 8TB external hard drive there. Now this is what I'm hoping to move away from here, just to try and get some clutter out of the way, because it does all just feel, it all feels very cluttered here. These are the shelves that I was on about, that my wife has got me. So they're 3 different sizes. This is the smallest one. So they've then got, you know, these on the back here that you can drop them on the wall, drop them onto the screws, and there's your shelf. So what I'm going to use them for, I'm not entirely certain yet. I'm thinking of putting a shelf over here, but printer, and put the Raspberry Pi and the hard drive on there. So there's a plug or 2 plugs down the back there. I'm just trying to avoid, you know, everything at the minute just seems to be in 2 plugs under this desk. I've got 1 extension cable there with about 6 plugs in it, and there's another one under the desk. So we've got on the top there, PC, donated to me by work. I tend to use that for WinUAE. Kind of given up using it with the streams and the recordings, because the fan on it is just so loud. The MacBook, it just picks up the fan all the time, and you can just hear this constant whining in the background. So I'm more or less sticking to my laptop for that now. Another Christmas present off the wife, Terminator 2D No Fate on the PlayStation 4. Still waiting to get around to play that. This opens up, it's a little tin that opens up that stores my my SD cards. Various plants that I'm doing my best not to kill. Moving on, oops, sorry about that. Bookcases then, on the left hand side as you go into the room. So I got my Mega Drive 2 collection up here. So what have we got in there? We've got Desert Strike, Streets of Rage, Sonic, Flashback, Castle of Illusion, and Aladdin, along with various figures then that I do love my little Ryo. I got him over Christmas. Various figures then that I picked up over the last 18 months, 2 years. These guys keep falling down. I've tried to use blue tack to stick them out there, but they do keep dropping back. And then game collection. So we have got my Xbox collection there, a few PlayStation 1 games on top. So there's the Xbox 360. Coming down to the next shelf then we've got the PlayStation 3. Let's not forget Metal Gear Solid, one of my favourite games. A few PlayStation 4 down here. And then a few books underneath. I'm really trying to rack my brain of the best way of actually trying to display all these properly, because these bookcases, they do need to go. But right, so then we've got more bookcases. I'm a big fan of the fantasy genre. We're talking the likes of, you know, Tolkien. I've got a lot of his stuff there. Terry Goodkind, Sword of Truth. If you're a fantasy fan and you haven't read any Terry Goodkind, you've got to at least give Wizard's First Rule a go. That is a fantastic book. It does tend to go on a bit, and I've got more of his down there. David Eddings, again another great fantasy author. He did quite a few sets, so you got like Diamond Throne, Ruby Knight, Sapphire Rose. That is one set called the Elenium, you know, and so forth and so forth. All my Amiga magazines there, Amiga Addict. Got a number of those sitting there. Again at the top here then, so we got like Transformer figures. They keep falling over every time somebody slams the door too hard in this house, because this is actually a timber frame and plasterboard house, but they're like big head figures there. So I mean that's Soundwave. He's going to fall over again, isn't he? Oh, okay. Okay. Bumblebee, Optimus, Raymond Feist books. Again, you lot probably aren't interested in this, but again, fantasy genre. These last two books here, this is actually a relation of mine, Ronald Blythe. And then Wheel of Time, Robert Jordan. I don't know if anybody of you have actually caught up with that on Amazon Prime, but this set of monstrous books here is the Wheel of Time, and there's more down here as well. GPI case, that's cracking, that's got a lot of ROMs on it, and then a little gift from one of my workmates as well. So yeah, so this is what I'm basically working with at the moment. It literally is like an 8 foot by 8 foot square room. As I said before, not enough room to swing a cat. But what I'm hoping to do is Billy bookcase here, floor to ceiling, one on a 45 degree, and then more coming along this wall, more or less up to the window. The far right hand side one we made up of 2 smaller ones, because off that I want to bring a desk which will then basically come across here. So you imagine the desk comes across and then it sits on top of one bookcase, and then another bookcase sits on top of that again, so the desk will disappear into between 2 bookcases. So that will then bring me a desk here, 45 degree monitor on the desk, which I will have a monitor in the corner and an Amiga set up there. So that'll be a dedicated setup for my Amiga, because it just keeps getting moved around at the moment. And then another desk will come up to about this point here, where I will have 2 sets of the IKEA sort of drawers. You know, the ones that people use when they have a desk and they use one either side. It's that sort of thing. It's about 5 or 6 drawers. You know, and I'm thinking then for each drawer I can put, like, you know, PlayStation stuff in, Xbox stuff in. So there'll be 2, one on top of the other there, and then a third one will basically be a cupboard for all intents and purposes that will bring you up more or less to the ceiling, and the desk will strike off of that then. So at the moment, I have, these storage cases here, which you got. I mean, this has got my PlayStation stuff in it. There's a PS3 and a PS4 in there, Amiga software, PlayStation 2 games, Xbox 360 stuff, including my Star Wars limited edition, stuff for my guitar. I play guitar as well, just to, I don't know if you'll see them there, but again, you lot probably don't care about a lot of this, do you? But yeah, so that's my room, and that's what I intend to do with it. So without further ado, let's get on with what we actually came to do today and unbox this lot. Right, without further ado, let's get on with this unboxing, with a nice coffee and a Nintendo cup. Courtesy of the wife. Right, first package. Let's have a look here. Some of these have come from, well, the majority of these I think have come from Vinted. 1 from eBay, okay, 2 from eBay. Right, that. And this is continuing on with my Lego collection. So we have got Lego Star Wars 3 on the PlayStation 3. As I came across a YouTube video, which I'm sure I've said before. I came across a YouTube video one day in work, which was for, I think it was The Hobbit. No, Lord of the Rings, sorry. Lord of the Rings on, it was the Lego version. And I thought it was quite a recent game. I thought, oh, that looks really good, graphics look great. And it came to the end of the trailer and it said it was from like 2010 or 2012. So when I actually went and looked for it, it turned out it was a PlayStation 3 game. I was really impressed with it. As you've seen on the video I took earlier on of, I think in the right place, up there somewhere, you've got all my Tolkien books up there. Big fan of Lord of the Rings, big fan of The Hobbit, and thought, got to give that a go. So I went ahead and bought it. Once that came back, I then decided I couldn't have Lord of the Rings without The Hobbit, so I went and bought that too. And then that just sparked off a little sort of obsession with these Lego games now, that I just want to try and get more or less the complete set. I don't know if I'll get the Dimensions one, because I think you need all sorts of figures and things to go with that. Might be pedantic and get it just to finish off the collection, but it's not what I'm rushing for. But now each month I'm looking to try and get at least one, if not a few of these. So, this is Star Wars 3 Lego on the PlayStation 3, complete with the manual. The disc, yeah, in fairness, the disc looks like it's in immaculate condition. So that is parcel number 1. I'm going to have to get around to taking these labels off a lot of my games at some point. I use isopropyl alcohol for that. Right, parcel number 2. So let's see what we've got in here. This one, it's a sort of grey envelope that, I want to just cut my fingers here, folks. Okay, they've wrapped it twice. Fair play them. This one doesn't want to let me in. I don't want to press too hard because obviously I don't want to risk going through the wrapping whatever's in here. Right, smallest there. Haha! Lego Jurassic World. Watched the most recent Jurassic Park film the other night, actually, quite enjoyed it. Wife's not so much a fan, so she just sits there on her iPad. But we're good like that. She's quite happy for me to watch whatever I want on the TV, and she's quite happy to watch what she wants to on her iPad, so winner all around. Yeah, so yeah, so there's a manual for that. Lego Jurassic World. Again, the manual's in really good condition. Disc is also in good condition, so yep, happy with that one. So that's another tool towards my Lego collection. Parcel number 3. It's a paper one, so we can just rip this one open. Another Star Wars, another Lego, and this one is Star Wars The Force Awakens. That's another, I think that's the 3rd Star Wars one. I think they only did 3 in these, of which I got 3 now. So you got The Force Awakens, you got the Star Wars 3, and then you got the complete saga. I'm not sure the complete saga came out first, and they bought another 2 out afterwards, I think, but could be wrong. Right, next, what have we got in here? I think this is one I picked up last night. I think this is a 2-game bundle. Again, this was on Vinted. I think it cost me about £4. They wrapped this really well in a bin bag and some brown tape with some bubble wrap inside that as well. So they really did wrap this well, fair play. The delivery driver not so good though. It was an impost. So he opened the door to the impost and he threw it right to the back on one of the bottom shelves. I literally had to get my hands and knees to fish the damn thing out. Right. Don't quite know the best way to try and cut into this without risking damaging it. Just scour the bubble wrap. Pull out of here. Oh, maybe, yeah. Alright, so that's 1 and 2. Right. Right, first one of the 2. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. This one, case not in such great condition. It's a bit battered and bruised. Plastic's a bit torn in places. Yeah, so Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Case seems okay. Manual's okay. Disc is good, that's the main thing. So what's that now? That's another 4. Not too sure about the case, might have to replace that. So that's my 4th Lego game now. I'm trying to get this so the light doesn't catch it that well. So there you go. That's that one. And then the second one that was in that Lego, or the Lego Movie video game. So I'm assuming they've done a Lego Movie at some point. I've missed that one entirely. Yeah, the book's more or less in good condition there. A little bit missing off the corner of it, but it is only just a snippet. And the disc is good as well. So, yeah, so that's the Lego Movie. Right, what have we got next? Let's try this one. I'll just rip that one open without the knife. No, okay. I always get quite excited about opening these up, even though I know exactly what's in them. Not each parcel, but in the pile. Oh, and wrapped in cardboard as well. Okay. To be fair to most of the vintage sellers, they're usually pretty good at wrapping things up, making sure it gets to you in one piece. Yeah. Okay. This one. A little bit of a story behind it. Let's just get it open first. Broken Sword, The Sleeping Dragon, on the original Xbox. Now, the story behind this is, I was going through Vinted the other day and looking for PlayStation 3 games actually, but I came across an Xbox One, and it was one of the ones with the crystal case, transparent, and the guy had it up for about 40 quid I think with a couple of games, and I thought, ooh, quite fancy that. So I messaged the wife and said, you fancy sorting out my birthday present? And she said, yeah, no problem, what is it? So I sent her a link, and by the time by the time she'd actually seen it, it had gone, it sold. So spent a little bit of time that afternoon continue to go through Vintage, just looking at various Xboxes, because at that point I had it in my head I wanted one. I've wanted one for a long time. I know a friend of mine used to have one probably about 20 years ago, I think, when they first came out. He moved down here from Oxford after moving away to Oxford, and even previous to him moving away, and he bought it with him, and we used to sit in my front room and play games on that. And again, there's a bit of nostalgic sort of sentiment behind that with me. So I just had it in my head that I wanted an original Xbox, and so I found another one on Vinted and sent the link through for that, and the wife went ahead and got that. But it is a birthday present, and my birthday's in July, so once this thing comes back to the house now, obviously just set it up, make sure it works and everything, and there's 4 or 5 games that come with it, but then I've got to wait for another 6 months before I can actually have it. But yeah, so Broken Sword. I like the Broken Sword games. I like the one they did with the original thing where the bomb went off in the cafe in Paris, and that one was quite good. I played that a bit. Got a good friend of mine, Dean James Robinson. He loves the Broken Sword series. I think he's got pretty much every game on every format, I think. And he did this thing with a Kickstarter. I think it was a Kickstarter where he ended up having his name basically detailed inside there, along with a load of other Kickstarter sponsors and things like that. So yeah, so I'll be looking forward to playing that, but that will be a video that will probably come somewhere around the end of July, guys. Alright, so I'll probably find myself getting a few games now. Serious Sam is another one I want to get. Serious Sam was a cracking game on the original Xbox, and I'm going to be doing some research into what games, just refreshing my memory of what I used to play back in the day. So that's that one, and that's the story behind that one. Alright, so we've got next. So wrapped in cardboard. didn't work. Let's try from this side. That didn't really work either. There we go, and we're in. Haha! Right. Carrying on, last year I was a bit lapsed, I've got to be honest. I started last year with a Mega Drive 2, and I was intending on doing like my top 12, I suppose, favourite games on there, of which I've got 6, as you saw before in the earlier part of the video. So you've got Desert Strike, Streets of Rage, Sonic the Hedgehog, Flashback, Castle of Illusion and Aladdin. Those were some of my favourite games back in the day. Used to have a good friend called Matthew that I used to spend a lot of my childhood with, and this is one we used to play quite regularly. Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive. Back when I used to know all the special moves and the finishing moves and all that lot. So this is basically going to be continuing that collection, so there will be a gameplay of this coming up soon. Oh, no manual. So it looks like I'm going to be researching online for the actual the special moves and things like that. So you got the cartridge there. That, to be fair, I can get the focus. It's in pretty good shape for something that's about 30 years old. Yeah, fair play. Okay, so that's Mortal Kombat. Never really got into the second or the third one. I know a lot of people they prefer the third one out of the lot, but I like the original. The original movie again, and there's the movie that came out 4 years ago with Scorpion and Sub-Zero's feud. That was a good one. Wasn't a big fan of the Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie, but the new one that's coming out now towards the end of this year, I'm really looking forward to that. That will be a cinema watch. So that's Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive, and that is continuing with my favourite games on the MD. Right, what have we got in this one? This one I think came from Vintage. Yeah. So this is going to be a bit interesting. Which there's nothing else left in there. No. It is Ed 209, the build it yourself version. Come on, focus. Focus. There. So, God knows how many pieces are in this. And you've got a set of destructions here. This is going to be fun. But basically, when you come to finish, that's what it should look like. So we will see, won't we? Might do a time-lapse video of me putting that together. Don't know, we will see, because God knows how long that's going to take. I'm not great at like jigsaw puzzles and Lego and stuff like that anyway, but we'll give that a go, and hopefully at the end of it we'll have an Ed 209. Maybe put them up with all the figures up there. Alright, getting to the end of the pile now, guys. So we've got this one, paper envelope. This is this is one from eBay. So if any of you have seen, I don't know if I put it up yet, I don't think I have, but not the challenge we're on now, but sorry, get the camera, but the Dirty Dozen group challenge on our Amiga Facebook group that Mark does a new game for every fortnight. I'm trying to think of the name of the game it was now. Inkerman, that was it. That was not the challenge we're on now, but the challenge previous. And what I was trying to do was, now that I've got my OSSC, my scan converter from my Amiga, was actually play the game on a real Amiga. Got my 1200 sitting there, which all went very well. Got it down onto a disc. The ADF transferred it onto an actual floppy. Started playing it, and my Competition Pro controller was giving me some problems. So what I ended up doing was flipping back onto WinUAE Now, somebody suggested to me, I think it was Mark, about getting one of these. And basically what this does, if I can get this camera to focus, come here. What this does is you plug that end in your Amiga. You then plug a Mega Drive controller, an official Mega Drive controller, which I got 3 or 4 here, into that. And there's little switches there for, you know, do a C64, Amiga, and all that sort of thing. And this makes it safe to actually use a Mega Drive controller on your Amiga, because it's something to do with although the DB9 port, it looks the same, the wires are wired up differently in the Mega Drive joypad, so there's a possibility that you could fry one of the chips inside your Amiga, and I don't want that happening. So for the next challenge now that we're on this time round, I'll be giving this a bit of a try, so I can plug that in my actual Amiga and then use a Mega Drive joypad and that, and see how I get on. Might need to strip the Competition Pro joypad down. It might just need cleaning with some isopropyl alcohol. If that's the case, fine, but it just seemed that the D-pad was sticking and I was trying to move in certain directions, jump over guys I've got to stay away from, and it just wasn't going to plan, and I just kept dying. So in the end I sort of just turned the Amiga off and used WinUAE to finish that video off, which I will get uploaded as soon as I can. Right, last thing I think. Have a quick sip. Oh, lovely. This came from Vinted. Now, I've already got one that I use in work, a white one. The reason I got a white one in work is because I wanted the black one when I saw it, but they didn't have any in stock, but they had white ones, so I thought, sorry, I'll get the white. Within 24 hours of me getting the white one, it came up that there was a black one. So, you see that? Now what this does effectively, it's kind of like a hub. So what you've got in the back here are 4 USB inputs there. Sorry, I'm doing things back to front. 4 USB inputs here along the bottom that you can plug hard drives into, or flash drives, or whatever you want. So I'll be using external hard drives in that, which you then, over this side, let's have a look. You've got your power in. So you have your power in there, so you can plug it in, and then you can take this and plug it into a laptop or something like that that powers the laptop. These top ones across here, these are what these switches are for. So you can plug various USB things in here, whether it be things you want to charge or whether it want to be like, you know, just anything like that, and flick them on and off with these physical switches. Now, if this is the same as the white one that I got in work, these are irrelevant, because if you're charging something, it's charging whether that switch is on or not. So I think the switches are more or less just for show, make it look pretty. But yeah, I was thinking I could have that like under the shelf or something like that. So that's all you can see is that part. You know, I could plug all my stuff in the back. So when I turn the computer on, everything will have power. The one problem I do have is that a lot of the equipment that I have there, they all have actual plugs on the end. So I have to get new wires for them that will have a USB on the one side. So yeah, so that was just a little indulgence. I just thought it looked cool, you know. And obviously these things up here, they light up. They're blue when they're off, and then you flick them on and they turn red. So yeah, just makes things look pretty. Right, gaming. Any of you that have seen my Facebook page for 10 Bears Retro, put that on there for now. Yeah, so any of you that have seen my Facebook page for 10 Bears Retro, I don't know if any of you were on that, but I put up a post the other night saying that I've been meaning to get back into actual gaming for a while. I don't get a lot of time to myself, work 6 days a week, other commitments outside work, etc, etc, and home life as well, so spending time with the wife, kids, things like that, family. So But I keep saying to myself, oh, I need to have a go at this, I need to have a go at that, I need to play something. And the other night I thought, sod it, I got a spare night, so I came up to the room here where I went through, started going through my shelves and my pile over there for things, and decided on Assassin's Creed, PlayStation 3. I think I've had a short crack at it at some point in time, an hour or two, and just never really carried on with it. That was up here, but I got my PlayStation 3 in the front room downstairs now. So I thought I'll just start working my way through it, because the thing is, I've got all these. So I got the original Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 2 Platinum Edition, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think I played a bit of this. Just trying to get this or not. There. Assassin's Creed Revelations. And Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now I'm not sure if there's any more on the actual PlayStation 3 of these. If there are, I will pick them up. So I just thought I'll start with the first one and start working my way through. But I need to make a point of continuing to have a go at it a couple of hours a week, because it takes me a long time to pick up how all the moves work, holding this, pressing that, and then if I don't play it for a while, it's gone. I don't retain the information. So that's what I've been playing recently. I'm only an hour or two in, I'll be honest, but enjoying it. It's nice just to be playing something again. Just want to go back through quickly this Lego stuff. So now, on top of the ones that I've actually done today, I've got Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego The Hobbit, The Avengers, that way I'm turned to it, there, The Avengers, Indiana Jones 2, The Complete Saga, Star Wars, Rock Band. Looking forward to that one. A bit of Rock Band. And then I've got the Harry Potter, Years 1 to 4 and 5 to 7. So that is now, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the Lego games. So I'm going to have to find out now how many is actually left and start making a bit of a wish list for them. Maybe next month or the month after, start getting those in. Yeah, so I think, looking around, I think that's a lot, folks. I've got nothing else to show you. So this has been Reese, 10 Bears Retro. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed my little long, that's not that long, my little Sunday vlog. Take care guys, see you soon.